Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Attacke.
What amazing battles going on.
Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness.
Da wird's eng. Wow, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move.
Das ist Rennsport at its best.
Races 3 and 4 in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland were held at Germany's northernmost racetrack, Oschersleben, with its 14 curves that have it all. In Oschersleben, you need a rhythm from the first to the last curve, and if you can't find that, you're going to have a hard time here. The Oschersleben Challenge requires getting down to business in the Motorsport Arena.
It's quite a short track. I think it's 2.7 kilometers. But I mean, to drive a lap is really nice. It's quite technical.
A very demanding course where passing maneuvers don't come easy. Opportunities to overtake somewhere. Overtaking is difficult here. That's why qualifying is very important. But there are always opportunities to overtake somewhere. But exciting battles for position don't always work out in Oschersleben. It reminds me of the Carrera Cup in 2001. I won here at Oschersleben and was also crowned champion at the end of the year. The youngest in this season's starting field also dreams of claiming a championship title one day. The kid is on the track in this green and yellow 911 GT3 Cup.
Hallo, ich bin Kiano Blum.
I'm Kiano Blum, 16 years old. I come from Austria and drive for ID Racing. It's always been a dream of mine to drive in the Porsche Carrera Cup. Now I'm one step closer to my goal. The Austrian started racing in karting early, getting faster and faster. Since 2013, he's achieved great success. The kart is much lighter to start with. The handling is completely different. It's a big adjustment to drive without ABS and without traction control. That will all come with time. In 2022, he finished second in the German Kart Championship and was rookie champion before that. Now he's got 510 HP under the hood. We're more excited than Kiano, but he'll be all right. My father also used to work in motorsport. It's very helpful. He gives me a tip or two every now and then and watches me closely. Then he tells me to try out this or that. My mother supports me when I've finished driving. She brings me water and looks after my general well-being. Mama Nicole is fully committed to her son's career. Her father, Walter Pedraza, is a hill-climbing racing legend. In other words, it's a motorsport family. I've been exposed to this through my father since childhood, but it is a different story if it's your own son. There's a bit more fear involved and many other emotions. Kiano Blum in the fast German one-make cup and striving for more. It's going to be a great experience. I'm really looking forward to Spielberg, my homecoming race. I can expect a lot of fans there. A rookie with big dreams. My goal is to enjoy making it my profession. My primary goal is to become a Porsche Works driver, which is why I'm involved in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Which is where he's competing with a field of strong drivers this season. Kiano Blum, who turned 17 in May, is the youngest of the drivers in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He's ambitious and getting faster. In Oschersleben, things did not go well for Harry King, the double winner at the season opener in Imola.
The red flag came out as a consequence of a car being spun and put into the gravel, which meant I crossed the line when the red flag was just about coming out. So essentially we don't get to keep that lap time, which is a real shame because it would have been a great way to continue our form at Imola.
We had unspeakable bad luck in qualifying one, and I had to give Harry hope so he'd pull through again. Just switch off and see this as a challenge. It's precisely that, having to deal with these up and down emotions. First, the joy of success in Imola, and then coming back down to earth again. These emotional ups and downs, that's racing. Now we have to push him again, and I can manage that. He is simply a race driver who is unhappy when he's not in P1.
It's the third race of the season for the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and it's Robert de Haan who takes his first ever pole position. He's driving for Team75 Bernhard. His teammate Janis Stierk has also scored his best ever starting position with third on the grid.
It feels good, but I'm not overly excited. I'm actually quite good in situations like this, and I'm just looking forward to the race.
In between them, it's 3 times Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup champion Larry Voorde. His team, Proton Huber, look on from the pits. A great start from Larry Voorde, but look at Janis Stierk. On the left-hand side of your screen, he comes sweeping around both the pole sitter Robert de Haan and Larry Voorde. While they're fighting each other, he just sneaks past both of them. On board with Larry Voorde, he goes wide out of turn 2, the hotel turn, picks up a bit of dirt. He's dropped down to 5th place, but what a sensation! 17-year-old Janis Stierk leading for the first time ever in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany.
The race began really well at the start. I went from 3rd to 1st place. After that, I struggled a bit, but it turned out quite well, and I was able to keep up.
On the exit of turn 14, now Robert de Haan sees a gap on the inside. He moves alongside his teammate. Keep an eye on Marvin Clark. We're riding on board with him around turn 2, the hotel turn. He's in 3rd place, but he spins. The car's coming to rest right in the middle of the track. The field is scattering left and right.
We were fighting for the podium, so it's a shame. It's a sport also, and that's happened.
And the culprit, Larry Voorde.
In der dritten Runde wurde der Marvin Klein.
On the 3rd lap, Marvin Klein was spun by another driver. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of the track and could not avoid him. I tried everything but ended up crashing into him. That ended the race for me. The chassis is broken, and unfortunately, we won't be back until Zandvoort.
In Zandvoort erst wieder zurückkommen.
Both of the drivers return to the pits, sharing the same scooter. Not entirely sure it's built for that. But out on the track, it's Robert de Haan behind the safety car leading the field around. We're riding on board with Robert de Haan. He's weaving to try and keep the heat in the tyres and in the brakes. Some really good tyre management from Robert de Haan. He wants to be able to get away when the green lights come on, and that's exactly what he does, leaving Janis Stierk in his wake. On board with Horst Felix Felbermayr for Team Proton Huber Competition. He's got Colin Berninghausen challenging him on the inside into turn 4. The 2 cars make contact and Felbermayr goes spinning around in a cloud of dust.
At the restart in turn 4, I got hit by the guy behind me, and that pushed me out of the race.
In a replay of this battle for 13th place, you can see the contact between Felbermayr and Berninghausen. And from that point onwards, Horst Felix was just a passenger as the car went spinning.
Lots of battles for position. It was very exciting. Then, unfortunately, I nudged Horst. He spun out, and later I got a full course yellow. A competitor touched me twice, and the race was over.
Also in the wars with Colin Berninghausen was Sebastian Freimut.
I wanted to get back on the line. I thought the guy next to me would move over a bit, but I misjudged the space between us. The impact was also much bigger than I would have wanted.
Further back, Nathan Sharp is getting involved in the Pro-Am battle. The 18-year-old Dutchman in the blue and green Allied racing car finds a route past the Pro-Am leader Ahmed Al-Shihab. Behind them, Pro-Am Championship leader Søren Spreng is pretty happy about it.
I had a bad start and was overtaken by Ahmad, then spun by a rookie afterwards. Fortunately, the safety car helped me. I was able to catch up with Ahmad, and a very long battle ensued between the 2 of us, in which he defended very well.
At the front, someone is moving to the left-hand side of the track. It's Larry Voorde. He's been awarded a penalty lap. This is gonna hurt like mad as he sees 8 cars come racing past. One of them is Ariel Levy. Just as in Imola last week, the 23-year-old Israeli is fighting for his first podium position. He's in a good spot for it at the moment. Robert de Haan leading, Janis Stierk in 2nd, and then Ariel Levy. Riding on board with him along the pit straight in towards turn 1. He can see the leading 2 cars just ahead of him. This is a great opportunity to pick up his first ever podium position.
I'm only driving for 2 years now, and I'm super happy. I don't really have anything to say besides I feel that my time has come.
Theo Overhaus is also having a good race. He started way back in 11th place, right in the middle of the pack, but he's pushing his way forwards. The young German's aggressive but clever driving style paying off as he challenges Huub van Eindhoven for 4th position. Behind them, championship leader Harry King, so he needs to find a route past Van Eindhoven without letting the number 19 car through, and he finds a gap.
On the penultimate lap, I managed another nice passing maneuver with Huub van Eindhoven. Generally, I had a good race from P11 to P4, something to be proud of on a track like this.
But the driver of the day is gonna be somebody else. As he exits the final corner, DeHaan celebrates in the pit lane as his son Robert, at just 17 years, 10 weeks and 5 days, becomes the youngest ever winner in the history of the One Make Cup.
Yeah, incredible race, of course, for the team also, P1, P2 in with both cars. Yeah, it's a mega job. I'm very happy with that rest so that we could get the lead and P1 in the first race. It was quite a chaotic race. I dropped a bit back at the start, but then after that I managed to get my P1 position back again. From there on, I just had to do my laps and bring it home.
Robert de Haan!
The Dutchman turns 18 in June. His teammate Janis Diak finished second and is also only 17. We're a very sporty family. I always motivated Jana to do sports. He used to play basketball very well. Then he got into karting and it continued until he suddenly ended up here. It means a lot to him. He pushes everything aside and lives only for his driving. Now, the peek at the Pro-Ams. Here, Soren Spring managed to get past Ahmad El Shihab shortly before the finish, narrowly winning the Pro-Am classification in the third race of the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland 2024. Is the winner of the rookie category ahead of Flint Schuring and Senna Van Soelen. The podium of the rookies, who, after the race, are also in great demand. Their fans line up and the race drivers start signing, trying to avoid writer's cramp at the very special event in the Porsche paddock. We're currently at the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland autograph session.
If somebody wants a photo or like an autograph or whatever.
If you only see them on TV, you get very little out of it. You can cheer them on, but it's completely different to see them in real life. That's really cool. The fans and their cool race drivers in the Fast One Make Cup. They all want to meet the winner of the first race in Oschersleben, the one with the cool laugh.
Yeah, of course it's cool to do, so a lot of social media content going around and a lot of people here, so yeah, it's also good for the fans and people on the outside.
And someone else is providing social media content this weekend. Daniel Volz, actor and ex-bachelor, along with actress Rebecca Kunikowski. They're both rooting for Robert de Haan in particular.
When you
see how young the guys are and the kind of energy they put into it, that's so cool to see. I thought drivers had to be small. That's proof it's not true. He's tall and can drive to win. Dutchman Robert de Haan, and not quite 18. Yesterday's success makes him the youngest winner in the history of the Fast One Make Cup.
It is an amazing feeling. I told my wife, I had the feeling already in my stomach when we came over here, but it was a feeling you could do it over here.
I cannot describe this. It's so intense, so beautiful, so lucky feeling.
His parents are always present.
My dad always used to race in the early days, so I always came with him to the racetrack, and yeah, from there on I started go-karting, and yeah, started of course with Dutch Championship, and from there on you go up, up, up.
Robert de Haan right out front early in this young season. His team boss is Timo Bernhard, 2001 Porsche Carrera Cup champion, is now back in the championship fight with his own team. We're returning to the Carrera Cup. We know how tough the series is and we take it very seriously. We've prepared well, so this is a top result. Robert turned in a masterful performance, and you could really see the team spirit, the cooperation. 2 pole positions and a victory in Saturday's race, Robert de Haan is aiming for great things here. A selfie in front of the race taxi as final preparations get underway before it's down to business. We're driving race taxis now. Very cool. Looking forward to a different ballgame though when someone else is driving. You're Christian? Hello. Tighten the belt so it fits snugly around the waist. Fast laps through the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben. Christian Menzel at the wheel really steps on the gas. That was pure emotion. Christian showed me where he hangs his hammer. That was so awesome. Outstanding. Oh my God, I could cry. Are you okay? Great. Yeah? Just awesome. No throttle to full throttle. And this guy knows his way around full throttle. The Porsche, golden. His starting number, 1. A champion is obviously on the track here. Larry ten Voorde, last year's champion in the German Porsche Carrera Cup. I'm a racer. I love my job, and I think what I do is just cool. He's been champion 3 times. I'm a guy who does everything he can to win, but not as a lone wolf. We do it together as a team. Cup racing is one of the most exhausting classes there is. It's hard work to stand back there every day and say, okay, bam. The BAM attack is back, this year in the team with which he became champion in 2020. We are very honored he has come back and from one of the best teams. To be honest, we didn't have the best season last year and he brings an incredible energy to the team. He's not just a driver with us, he's a kind of driver coach and a mentor for the youngsters in the team, and you can already see that in the results. The champion coaches the youngsters. I'm glad Larry's here. I can learn a lot from him. Learning from the record champion. They are super guys, all very young. I'm almost 30, I can't believe it. It's really nice to see how they're already struggling to get better and dealing with the data. They'll say, Larry, I'm going to stay here for another hour because I need to know something. So cool. Larry ten Voorde is also reflective. He and his team have suffered a great loss. Their thoughts are with him. When I think of Gerhard, I have such wonderful memories. He was always there no matter what. On good days and bad. He was never angry. I'm so sorry for everyone who was close to him, and of course for his family and children. Gerhard Freundorfer was a big part of Huber Racing and will always be part of the big racing family. Our Gerhard was very important to us. He was there right from the start at our first Carrera Cup race. I think of him so often every day and have twice as much strength because I know he motivates me from above. He makes sure that we're doing well, and to honor him, we continue to go full throttle. Full throttle with him in mind, looking ahead and on to new victories. Why does a car have a big window at the front and the rearview mirror is small? That means you have to look ahead. That's the most important thing. The champion is driving here with starting number 1. He is someone who won't give up anytime soon and will do everything in his power to take the title again this year. It's been a great weekend. The grandstands were full, we had great weather, and more importantly, we've experienced an extremely high level of sport. We have a talented pool of drivers who are racing on 1 and 2. That's exactly what we want. We work to develop young drivers and new teams in order to deliver a great competition for our fans.
In the seconds before the start, you can almost hear a pin drop. All 24 drivers are waiting for the starting signal. The tension is palpable. And then finally, it happens! Lights out, and we are go! It's a great start for Larry ten Voorde in the gold and black number 1 car, alongside yesterday's winner Robert de Haan squeezing to the inside. Into the hotel turn is Larry ten Voorde who takes the lead. Robert de Haan down into second place. Looking down at the hotel turn is Huub van Eindhoven up to third, but Harry King coming around the outside on board with Larry ten Voorde towards Hasserode, which is turn 3. Pole sitter Robert de Haan is moving backwards through the pack. Huub van Eindhoven squeezing his way through to steal the place away. De Haan looks to be in trouble. He's also lost a position to Harry King as well. Riding on board Matteo Overhaus, we can see that all is not well with the number 14 car. The Team75 Bernhard Porsche is falling backwards through the pack, and after just one lap, Robert de Haan peels off into the pit lane, and it looks like his day is over already.
In T1 I didn't have a lot of space, but then in T2 he overshoot the corner a bit, so I went up his inside, and not really any space left for me, so just drove my front, but they got to be afraid for the next one.
Fighting talk from the young Dutchman, but first of all he has to digest the setback after yesterday's victory. Back on track, Larry ten Voorde leading the way in race 2 of the weekend. It's a traffic jam further back. That's Ariel Levy to the inside of Sebastian Freimuth on the exit of turn 2. The two cars make contact and both go spinning in perfect synchronisation. Ariel is able to rejoin, but it looks as though Sebastian Freimuth's day is done.
Yeah, I had a relatively aggressive move on Sebastian that in the end didn't work out of, really unfortunate situation, and that's it basically.
After his 17th place finish yesterday, Sebastian Freimuth exits his car, but Larry ten Voorde continues to lead from Huub van Eindhoven, now under pressure from Harry King, then a gap back to Theo Overhaus in 4th place. The front runners reasonably spaced out, so let's take a look at the Pro-Am race. It's Michael Esman who's leading the way in the Pro-Ams. Second in the Pro-Ams is Søren Spreng, but between them Gianluca Tucciaroglu. Esman had missed yesterday's race due to family commitments, but now he is back fighting for victory in the class, and that's exactly what he would get at the end of this race, his first victory of the year in the Pro-Am standings. Meanwhile, after a trip to the penalty box, Ariel Levy is now fighting his way back up through the pack. Just ahead of him, second in the Pro-Am race, Søren Spreng. But Ariel Levy will be keen to dispatch him as quick as possible and get after the race leaders. Having passed Søren Spreng, the next car up the road is that of Gianluca Tucciaroglu. He looks to the inside into the corner. Just ahead of him, Michael Esman, the leader in the Pro-Ams. Along the pit straight they come in towards turn 1. Ariel Levy trying to come back and make it into a points finish. Michael Esman holding the perfect line around the hotel turn. There is Karol Krelt, the young Polish driver, also in the fight for the lower places. Levy to the inside of Esman. Esman lets him go. This is not a battle that he needs to be fighting today. His main rival is the car that's behind him. We're looking at Huub van Eindhoven. He's under pressure from Harry King. King chooses the perfect moment and overtakes, claiming second place from Huub, as cold as ice.
It's not about how well you can drive a race car, but it's also how well you can, come back again afterwards and come back fighting. And we did just that. So, I'm quite pleased with the performance in general, and I look forward to Zandvoort to give the Dutch guys something to party about.
Well, one Dutch driver has an unassailable lead, Larry ten Voorde. Further back, there's a duel for 6th place. On board with Marvin Clan, he can see Janis Stierk ahead of him. He can see a gap just behind them. James Kellett ready to jump if these two cars get together. Clan goes the long way around. They run side by side before the 21 car finally inches ahead. Kellett's not able to follow him through, but Stierk drops to 7th place.
Hier gibt's nicht viel Überholmöglichkeiten. There are not many overtaking opportunities here, but he overtook me fairly, and that's how it ended.
Larry ten Voorde has had to wait 4 races, but now he is finally back on top. Congratulations on your 31st victory in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany.
I'm very happy. It was hard after yesterday, but I never give up. There's still a long way to go, but today was very special. Larry ten Voorde with his first win of the season. It will certainly not be his last. The reigning champion shows everyone that he is far from being written off. The podium is usually where you will find him after a race. Michael Esman is winner of the Pro-Ams. He finished ahead of Soren Spreng and Ahmad El Shihab in Sunday's race in Oschersleben. The victory was the crowning glory, topping off a great weekend, both my son's communion and the race win. It doesn't get much better than that. Cas Havercourt won the rookie category, holding his own against Senna Van Soelen and Colin James Bonikhausen.
I'm quite new to the car. In February it was my first time even driving the car. Be fighting in the top 5 is just an amazing feeling, and that promises quite a bit for the next few races and for the whole season.
The next 2 races will be held on the North Sea coast when the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup starts in Zandvoort on the home track of the Dutch. The 3rd race weekend of the season, very close to the dunes on the fast Formula 1 racetrack in Zandvoort. And he won't have to sing the national anthem himself. Coming soon at the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany.